So I think it's working. I gotta get used to this whole setup situation. We're gonna make it work though. We're gonna make it work. Hopefully it looks like I'm looking at you guys like dead in the camera, because I know people are more opposed to look at the actual screen, which makes them look cockeyed. So I'm trying to make sure it looks like I'm actually having a conversation with you. All right, good morning. It's still technically morning, and for those who know me, know that most of the time on my social media platforms, I'm always with a good mood. That's how we're gonna set the tone for this lovely video. I'm home. I am working remote like a lot of you, I'm sure, today, this week, the next several weeks, because of this COVID-19 coronavirus. It has, put it plainly, shut things down for a period of time. I am in Massachusetts right now. The governor has recently put an even more restrictive ban out in terms of how people are to function, a cap on how many people are supposed to be in social gathering spaces, all of that. So long story short, I am home this week. I may go into the office one day this week because there is a few things that I actually need to get into the office to do. So we will see how that goes. But as far as today, I am home. But I wanted to make a video because, like I said, there are a lot of people who are in the professional sector, professional services sector, academia, who are working from home, working remotely. So people will say working from home, working remotely, interchangeable. With that being said, I know there are some people who are not used to working from home and are adjusting to that. There are some of us who have experienced what it is to work from home because we have some things going on, appointments or whatever, and we will make the request to work from home and it's set up and we get our laptop, all that. But the fact that we are now in a situation where most of us are practically being forced to work from home, it puts things in a different light. I had mentioned in my first video that I am in the process of formalizing a consulting business primarily focused on the career consulting and business consulting for professionals of color, specifically African Americans. Career side of things, I had put up a post on my IG page, and I think it's going to be popping up somewhere on this screen, but I had put up a IG post of just some practical general tips to consider when it comes to, now that you're working from home, what are some things to consider? So I just wanted to elaborate a little bit more on what those tips are. And hopefully, if you guys agree, leave a little comment below. Let me know what you think. If there are some other things that you personally are doing right now that's helping you while working from home, feel free to leave a comment below. And this is all an opportunity to share, because there are some people who generally have anxiety when it comes to working from home, because this is not the norm for them. And so you may see me look off from time to time because I did write a couple notes. But the first thing is your systems. Making sure, I'm sure there are some of us who have laptops, there are some of us who have desktops. Your mobile phone, smartphone may have access to the internet on it. I don't want to assume that everybody has internet and Wi-Fi and laptops and computers, because it may not be the norm for some people. But for those who do, you want to make sure, obviously, that, your Wi-Fi is up to par, that if you do have a laptop, that it's working functionally. If you do have a smartphone, that is working appropriately. Making sure that for some people, I know for my specific job, there are some people who don't have an company issued laptop, but may have a laptop at home. And so making sure you get the proper information from IT to get whatever links or access so you can actually simulate your work situation from your personal laptop. I also have some friends who actually have a home office. So that makes things a little bit easier, and they have made a makeshift version of what they typically would have done in their office. So all of that is helpful. So you just want to make sure your system's overall access is taken care of. Another thing, social media. Now, I know people on quarantine right now, and you're going to be more prone to just sit there and scroll, 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 scroll. I'm not talking about that. When I say social media, I'm more so talking about YouTube and LinkedIn specifically, a little bit more LinkedIn than YouTube. So LinkedIn, for those who don't know, is more of a professional networking social media platform where you can connect on a more professional level. Obviously, look for jobs. You know, certain topics are being discussed related to various industries, things like the coronavirus and the impact on the economy, impact on hiring, impact on jobs. I may do a separate video about how this virus, and more so just the whole working remotely and technology, how that has been impacting the hiring and job search process. So with that, LinkedIn has some courses. There may be a fee associated with it, but there are opportunities to provide some professional development opportunities at home. And just even reading articles that may be related to the industry that you're working in, or if you're interested in another aspect of business and want to learn a little bit more. A simple one-word keyword search in the search bar on LinkedIn, and information will pop up, groups will pop up that you can join in. So that is a way to stay engaged and keep your mind going, even though you may physically be at home. With YouTube, we don't all know you can YouTube anything pretty much and find a video on it. So if you're trying to figure out how to maneuver something in your computer, or how to format a document a certain way through Excel, or how to use a particular software, there's various different ways of getting a form of a tutorial on YouTube. So that is something to consider as well. The next thing, staying organized, and that can be both electronically in terms of your folders in your email, physically in terms of any sort of folders or books, files, things that you may not have had time to organize when you were in the day-to-day before, you know, this virus became what it is. So making sure to take time to stay organized and assisting in that process that way. And then the last thing is just relax as much as possible. I know everybody's level of anxiety varies from one person to the next. Certain people have certain triggers that can allow them to become anxious without even realizing it. This obviously is something that is very uncommon, very unknown to a lot of people on all levels, from the business side, from the entertainment side, from the sports side, from even the health side. Doctors and medical professionals are trying to figure out where this virus came from, how it came from, how it spread, all of that. And so the more that we can all just be calm and relaxed, the better off we will be. One other thing, this is probably number 5, is trying to make sure you have a quiet place in your home to allow for you to be able to work remotely. And so I know for some people, you may have families. I'm literally, y'all can see, I am literally working from home in my room right now. I personally moved back home almost 2 years ago to help save money for when I do go back out and get my own place. It will be a home this time, but I'm with my parents. My sister still lives at home, so we have a full house. I am home by myself right now. I am trying to take full advantage of this quiet time, if you know what I mean. Okay? But as much as you can, try to designate a certain spot in the house where, if you're in a situation where you're working from home, that is your space. Just even letting your family know, listen, when I get over in this section, I got work to do. Sometimes I have to do that with my own family and just say, hey, when I close the door, I really got to focus on some work. No disrespect, but I gotta I gotta section myself off for a second. And then once you do what you have to do, come back and keep it moving that way. But I just wanted to provide some quick tips, ideas, thoughts to consider for those who are working from home, for those who are unfamiliar with working from home. And yeah, we're gonna get through this. It's a temporary situation, and without getting too deep with this, better is to come from all of this. I really think there are going to be some great things to come after all of this once we get out on the other side of this. So just try to stay calm, try to stay relaxed, and until next time.